Moving on, another book that's very tightly tied to what's going on in the Ultimate Universe, whether it be for the Ultimates, the X-Men, or even the future of Spidey, I'm sure. Ultimate Comics Hawkeye by Jonathan Hickman and Rafa Sandoval. How many of you guys enjoyed that book? It is a pretty critical mini limited series for the future of the Ultimate Universe. Sana, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, Ultimate Hawkeye sort of linking, I do believe it's sort of like the linchpin between what's going on in the Ultimates world and also what's happening, what's going to be happening in Ultimate X-Men. With the relaunch, we're doing our best to make sure that it is very much a cohesive environment. Everything that's happening in one book will be affected in another book. And we are, Hawkeye's on a mission to retrieve something from the Seer, which is the Southeast Asian Republic. And there will be two important characters that are going to influence the lives of the X-Men, actually. And obviously it'll be affecting what's happening in the Ultimates as well. But it's Hawkeye at his best. He's back. He's back in the awesome red and black costume, which I think he looks really hot in. So, yeah, it's great.
Okay. And actually, at this point, we should also give a round of applause for cover artist Kari Andrews, who's doing a great job with these alternate covers. They look badass. And Sana has a crush on Hawkeye, in case you didn't get that. Now moving on to Ultimate Comics X-Men. Nick Spencer and Paco Medina. With a truly unique assembly of X-Men. I'm not sure anybody ever thought they'd see the Human Torch alongside Wolverine's kid and Iceman on the X-Men, but it's produced a really, really awesome book. And Sana, I know you're a fan of the X-Men, but so what makes this book for you so special and so unique?
Well, it's a return of a team book. Ultimate X was it was a very slow, kind of another version of an origin story, and it was beautiful in its own way. I absolutely loved it. Art Adams and Jeff Loeb did an amazing job. And this is sort of the return of the X-Men, and particularly the younger X-Men, as they're kind of realizing who they are. They're obviously facing an identity crisis. They're trying to understand who they are and what they should do, and if they should use their power and actually fight back, because mutants are obviously being hunted as criminals and terrorists. And it's awesome because Johnny Storm's now on the X-Men, which is interesting because the term mutant has changed its definition in so many ways. There's like a banter between Johnny and Bobby, and he's like, well, I'm technically a mutant now because man created mutants, and it's interesting because they actually don't know who they are, and if you can't identify who you are, what do you really believe in? And Johnny's obviously a fantastic addition to the cast, and I do love these three characters in particular, the way they work together, and oddly enough, they're going to be sort of like the strongest members of the X-Men. A lot of other ones have kind of went away. You'll be seeing Jimmy Hudson as well, Wolvie Jr., who's a fantastic character, and yeah, it's sort of the return. It's the return of the X-Men.
Yeah, and we cheered for him before, but let's do it again so we can hear it. Mr. C.B. Cebulski is joining us. And while we're talking about Ultimates, I actually wanted to ask Mr. Moisen, since he's new to the Ultimates office, and he's been watching from the outside, what has it been like coming to these books and joining the editorial team?
I started out as an intern, so I've been watching these books since forever, and I come to it as a fan. And the thing that I can definitely say coming into it is that there's a lot of love for these books. Everyone that is working on these books loves the hell out of these characters and this universe, and just wants them to be good, and just is doing the best product they possibly can. And I think it shows. I think that the work that everyone's doing is some of the best stuff that's been done at Marvel in the last decade. I think it's incredible.
And Sana is your boss, so say something nice about her.
Sana is a great boss.
That's true. Even when I yell and hit.
So Sana, can you give us a little hint as to what's coming up with in the next few issues of Ultimate Comics X-Men? What can we expect?
Well, again, you're going to be seeing events that do link into Ultimate Hawkeye. There's going to be a return of an old character who's kind of a dick, but at the same time, it sets up a really good action sequence and fight between the X-Men and this jerk. And it's really, I think it becomes a story about faith and what that means and why people are motivated to do what they're meant to do. There are the mutants and the people that hate them. And when you're trying to figure out who you follow and who you believe in, the world becomes a murky place when all of your beliefs are really illusions. I know that's kind of cerebral, but that's what we do sometimes.
Our fans are smart, they get it.
Yeah.
Marvel, your universe.